Hi everyone, this is a photo of Cape St. Vincent at Victoria Crater on Mars, and this photo was taken in 2007 by the Opportunity rover. And what I'd like to do is, this is a replacement of video, high definition video of one that I'd made, so this is going to show much more detail than the previous one. So let me go into this photo. Let me give you an overview of the general layout from what I see based on my training of 30 years in construction. To my mind's eye, right away, this road-like structure here is just that. It is a road. It has been cut through, across, and down the existing rock layers. So that's, to my mind's eye, that's obviously not a natural formation or structure. And this road goes down to a cave right here. And I believe this cave provides access to essentially a labyrinth of probably rooms or caverns or other areas inside this outcrop. And I've circled an area here which obviously shows a side entrance into this labyrinth inside. And then we go down below, and then we have another area here which I've circled, and which I will focus on in a minute, to another interior portion here. And then you can see openings throughout this face, here, there, and down and around. So this whole thing is essentially, interiorly, it probably has a whole labyrinth of structures inside. Alright, so let me zoom in, and I want to focus on evidence of, I'm going to say, cultural or higher civilization evidence in a cultural way. And this is essentially a rock painting of I believe to be a fish or a dolphin, and you can clearly see a fish shape. It could be a whale. And then there is another drawing here of a bird. And then we move into this area here, and this I believe is a king and queen. This could be a statue, or it could be painted on a three-dimensional structure, and I believe this is also in color, but I just wanted to point this out because this is in the image, and to me this is obviously evidence of higher civilization culturally, because it is a artistic graphic. And then here we have this side tunnel that opens into this pathway that goes down to this very famous image of an Egyptian-like looking statue. And I want to focus on the tunnel a little bit, because this appears to me, due to my background, appears to be lined, and that's a structural element, completely artificial. And then we have a I don't know if that's a capstone or it could be some kind of a decorative relief. And then this here I believe is another image of this could be an entity, but I won't focus on that right now. And then I'm going to zoom out, get a little more perspective, and then we're going to go around down to this side, and we're going to focus on these objects here. Now this to me is obviously not natural, and this is a completely manufactured object. This is doesn't exist in nature to my knowledge. And this here is a conical, I believe this is also manufactured. This is probably made out of some concrete-like material. It looks to me like it has eroded in this area, and this object and this are together as a unit, and I believe this goes down and is connected to this area below. And I'm going to zoom in to this area, and I'm going to call this a drilling area for obvious reasons. I'm going to zoom in real tight, and we're going to see a drill bit, alright, with a drill head, and this is obviously very shiny and very sharp and ready to go. I'll zoom back. And we have another, I believe, another drill bit here. Other larger drill bits here and here. And at the top of this cavern here, I'll zoom in, and this is a chain hooked up to some kind of hoist, and it's holding some material. Now here on Earth, it's no big deal to see chained material on construction sites or drills. You can go to any large construction site and see these kind of things. But here on, obviously this is here on Mars, and we've been told that these things don't exist, but here it is in the photos. This appears to be a heavy link with something attached to it going down back into the cavern. And let me zoom back out. And then before I do that, there's other metallic objects here that I believe are related to this drilling operation itself. And I'll pull back. And this appears to be some kind of hook that they can attach things to. So I'll zoom back out. And then we have other objects here, which I believe are construction debris or related items. This is sheet metal like objects. You can see these serrations here in the folded, it's laying there and it's been folded. And then this here we have a straight edge with perpendicular bracing. And here we can see this notched area here, and this is obviously, to me, related to whatever operations, and it's clearly discarded laying on the side here. And I believe it's covered with a film of dust, Martian dust or dirt, because on Mars they have these dust storms, and obviously things do get covered. And then I'll move down to this object here. I believe this piece here and this one here are portions of discarded drill bits. The drill bit head here appears to be worn, and this one appears to be a shaft with the drill head actually off. So I just wanted to make note of that. And then we'll go to this object here, which is a carved relief of some kind of animal. It looks like it might have wings, and it definitely has a face. And we have some type of writing here on the this rock portion here, which is very interesting in itself. So I'll pull back and I'll get a little more perspective. And I'll just review real quick. We have the road going down and across the rock layers into this cave, and then we have an access tunnel here, and then we have this pathway going down to the statue, and then we have, this is almost like a vent that you see on many rooftops, but I'm not going to characterize it as such. It just appears to be. And then we have this drilling area here with the drill heads and the discarded debris. So I'll zoom in again. Now this object here is fairly shocking, so be forewarned. This appears to be a humanoid object that's laying in a repose position here, resting on this ledge. And I don't know if this is a living object or a non-living object, but it definitely appears to be a humanoid with some kind of face. I have reason to believe that this darker color is some kind of suit, and this lighter color is actually a mask or a protective helmet. And the reason I say that is, we'll go down below, or I'll zoom in a little bit, and we could see this object here. Other people, I think, have focused on this and they've called it a skull, I think for sensational purposes, but I believe that this is a helmet or a protective mask. And then next to it we can see this, obviously it's a metallic object with serrated, sculpted type of edges, and that's clearly metallic and clearly not natural. And then here we have some other debris, and we can see the location of this humanoid. We can see this debris here, so it looks to me like this is some kind of something happened here, because this is we have a lot of evidence of materials and things in pieces, but I'm not going to speculate, but I do have some hypothesis. And then we can zoom in a little bit to see the cave entrances. I think this is absolutely fascinating. I'll get a nice tight shot on this area, and we could see a sculpted face here, and then we have obviously an entrance here, an opening, and then this is a pathway going into this opening here, and then there's other little objects here on the sides, but this is obviously kept very clean. And this is also fascinating, where we have this opening here with some kind of object protruding, and it appears to be something is connected. It's connected to another little section in here, which this is absolutely fascinating. So I'll pull back out, and this appears to be maybe another statue, and this is another opening here. So you can see that there is a plethora of openings going in and out of this rock structure here at the crater wall. And now, be forewarned, this is an object I find to be probably the most meaningful pictures I've ever seen from Mars, for a variety of reasons. And that's this object here. This to me is absolutely fascinating. This is obviously some kind of humanoid object. It has arms, legs, and a head. It appears to be metallic, and I've done research on this image, and I have there are actually cave paintings in Australia and throughout the world that depict a very similar body shape and body structure from 6,000 years ago. So hypothetically, what the rover is taking pictures of now may have been on Earth 6,000 years ago, and that's why I feel that this image here is one of the most important images ever taken, because this provides a hypothetical link to our Earth based on these ancient cave paintings. And then we'll go up on top, and then this gets into more this is almost like a transcendental image, because this to me is displaying behaviors that have never before been witnessed here on Earth. They've definitely been seen in the movies through our imaginations, but this is pictures of evidently real phenomena. This appears to be some type of entity that is, in my mind's eyes, it's morphing from a cloud-like or energetic structure into a physical one. You can clearly see a face. And then this one here I find absolutely fascinating, because studying this image, this is a face attached to some kind of body. It looks to me like it's developing into a very similar structure as this one, but I'm speculating. And there are three different angles or three different views of this face, and it appears to even have a beard, which indicates movement. These objects are moving, that's why they're blurry, and if they're studied under high definition in a forensic fashion, you can see the information is on this image of three different facial angles, and that indicates movement. So then we'll go up to this area here, and this is obviously a hole, and somebody has dug a hole, and if it was here on Earth it would be no big deal, but this is Mars. And this is another object here. I'm not going to speculate as to what that is, but I find that absolutely fascinating. So we can see the excavated material next to the hole, and this is obviously a hole. So I'll pull back out to get our perspective back. And I'll focus on two more objects. This object here, I believe was related to the operations, the material handling operations that evidently were evident at this site, which I believe may no longer be. It appears to be metallic. It has a lid of a different type of material, and it obviously has wheels. Let me zoom in on those. So these are wheels that possibly went on some kind of track system within some kind of underground tunneling operation. And another item of interest is this here, which is again some additional carts that appear to have wheels, that appear to be discarded, and it looks to be like there's definitely maybe two with some type of lid or cover, and they appear to be discarded, laying on their side at the base of the crater wall. So this image has an enormous amount of information. It clearly shows higher forms of life, evidence of civilization, evidence of presence. And I'll focus on one more item, which is absolutely fascinating here. And what this demonstrates is that there is a darker object behind this material here, and I want to zoom in, and I want to show that this material evidently has been torn. We can see it ripped in this area, and a portion of the torn material is draped over this rock here, and evidently we can see this darker object through this material. We can see like this lip area through this material, and then we can make out other structure behind and through this material. So this material is translucent, and it's obviously manufactured. And I believe that this material is used throughout this cave, or the rock face, to protect against the harsh Martian dust, and to also allow light to come into the cave areas. I believe that this is a section of this material here. It's draped over probably an opening, and I believe that this material here is very similar. It's covering up whatever construction items are behind it. So I'll zoom back out, and there you have it. It's Cape St. Vincent at Victoria Crater. There's a phenomenal amount of information here. There are other items here, I believe, of more of a transcendental nature. I'll zoom in on one, and that's this item here. This, I believe, is another type of being, and I have evidence that these type of objects exhibit traits very similar to what we would describe as spirits. They have I guess like it's almost like a spiritual or etheric ability to move in ways that are transcendental, I guess, to our experience. But we can clearly see some eyes and mouth. It looks like he's got a hoodie. He's dressed in white, and it looks like he's standing right there, or I don't know if he's floating right there. I don't know. I don't know if he even has feet, but I just wanted to point that out. So there are other objects like this in this image, but I'm going to use another video to focus on those. So I just wanted to really focus on the main items and leave the finer examinations to the scientific types. So here it is, Cape St. Vincent at Victoria Crater, 2007, and God bless. Thank you.